Enough of the false narratives, enough of the misinformation. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Tired of all the posts people talking about they don't know why Kendrick came out of nowhere and just diss Drake for no reason, and how it be your own friends, it be your own kind, the ones you put on and bring in close. Kendrick's a snake, yada yada, all that. All that ends now. I didn't think I'd have to go dig up and put together a montage of clips showing the timeline of what went down. But what was the last straw for me was when I seen somebody take the timeline and put everything backwards, showing everything incorrectly, painting Kendrick as a snake, when in all actuality, it's Drake that's the snake, and an emotional one at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a rundown of the story on exactly how it happened, but then I'm gonna play the video and show you the clips of the history in the order in which it happened so you can see for yourself. It started with the control verse. Of course, everybody knows. It started with the control verse.
Culture.
Let me tell you what was great about that control record. It wasn't like everybody said, you got to hear this, or something's coming, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like all of a sudden, it just fucked the whole game up.
Yeah.
I'm usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop, and them niggas should know what time it is. And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler McMillan. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more now, no verb from you niggas. What is competition?
Kendrick mentioned multiple artists in that verse. After that, only J. Cole was the one that really reached out to, because they were cool, they were friends. Only J. Cole was the one that reached out and was like, yo, what was that? Was it something there, or was it, what was it? Kendrick told Cole it was just competition. There's nothing there. It's just competition. They chopped it up. They're cool, whatever. Then they did that Black Friday joint where they both jumped on each other's records, did a freestyle on each other's records. Everything was cool. People like Pusha T, they responded with a verse. Other artists responded with a verse. B.O.B., Joe Budden, all of them. They all responded with their own verse.
You know, as soon as he saw me, he said, yo, thank you so much for just, for understanding and not taking the verse the wrong way. Like, Kendrick, you don't know I'm different, bruh. I was like, I'm different. Like, I understand. Like, I listen to rap.
Right.
I understand.
It's the sport of hip hop.
It's the sport. It's the sport of hip hop. And I looked at it like, man, he shouted out his peer.
Nobody took any kind of ill intent from it except for Drake. Drake was the only one that took ill intent from it and never responded on wax, but found a way to keep running his mouth in every interview about Kendrick after that. Every time you turn around. Not to mention, keep in mind, they met up together. Kendrick let him know what it was, said it was all love, it was just competition, whatever, it's all that. And then Drake admittedly brings that up in all these interviews, say, I saw him afterwards. It was all love. I wish he would have did it if it was all in, then he should have been all in.
You wouldn't do it for sport ever?
Like, just to call someone out?
Like after Kendrick's thing, you wouldn't. I noticed you didn't really get into that too much. So
I just I don't know. It just wasn't real to me. It's like I saw him after that, and it was just like love. So it's like, was that real, or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, then let it be real. Then because those were harsh words, right? So it's like, you can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not real. To me, that's not like the nature of battling. I mean, there's passion behind it. There's anger behind it, and I personally enjoy making like great music and bodies of work over like being the talk of Twitter for like 5 days,
But you seem just now a little irritated by it. No?
Really?
Yeah, just by even saying that it was those harsh words, it seemed like maybe it irritated you for a second. Is that wrong?
No, it's just like, coming from that situation, it was unexpected. I wouldn't like. It's sort of like in working your way up and sort of building relationships. I wouldn't expect you to like throw all the relationships out the door for the sake of, like I said, being like the talk of the internet for 10 days. And then, it's like now this, like everyone's going to forget about people don't even care about it anymore.
So true.
But now, especially this week, it's like, yeah, okay, moving on. Like
that verse was, he's giving people like moments, like that verse was a moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time? Okay. And then it was real cool for like, a couple weeks. But like, if I asked you, for example, like, how does that verse start?
No, do you remember?
No, and like,
No.
now mind you, it'll go on in Complex and Rap Radar, give it like verse of the millennium and all that shit or whatever. But like, I'm just saying, it's like, or maybe it was you that was like, is Kendrick Lamar your biggest competition like in this generation or whatever? And I think that Kendrick has like the utmost potential, man. Like, you know, I see Kendrick tomorrow, I'm gonna dap him. I didn't feel the way about that verse. I get it. I get the moment. Like, you know, he's a good guy. And like, I know that verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. So it's like, he didn't come on there on some wild, like, yeah, I'm in New York, fuck everybody, don't look at me. Like,
I'm the king.
So it was one of those things, it's like, I almost wish he had come in there on that shit because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really fuck everybody, then it needs to be fuck everybody. It just can't be halfway for the sake of the people. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, that's just how I feel.
Then he gets on the Marcellus Wiley and Max Kellerman show and just dogs Kendrick out. And after he realizes what he did in that interview, this is around the time in 2014 when he was supposed to host the ESPYs. When he realized what he did before the interview could air, he called him up, or he had his people call him up and tell him, like, hey, you can't let that interview air. They still wanted to air it, and pretty much it got to a point where they was like, well, if you air it, I'm not doing the ESPYs. So, of course, they didn't air it, so he did the ESPYs.
I can tell you now, shit.
You can tell me now?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Vlad TV exclusive.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Let me preface it by saying I wish I had the words in detail. Like, I wish I had the transcript, like, memorized.
Okay.
I wish I had the recall for the words that Drake said.
So it was Drake.
Oh, yeah, it was Drake.
Okay, so Drake came on your show.
So Drake came on our show, Sports Nation.
What year was this?
Don't quote me. 2011, 12. All I know is this. Drake is doing our show, Max and myself, Max Kellerman and myself, Sports Nation, big hip-hop fans, both of us, because we're hip-hop fans, / he's hosting the ESPYs that year. Now, we always did our show live. Always. Studio audience, all this stuff. That day, I don't know why, we had to tape it. So it's like 11:30. Our show aired at like 1:30 or something, 2 hours before the show. And so we taping the interview with Drake. We get there early. We do it. Now, Max and I, so hip-hop, we just go in there. Like, we not got the standard questions. He's like, damn, okay. And it turned into him going at Kendrick Lamar. And really going at Kendrick Lamar, saying, man, come on, man. I'm me and he's him. And all like, he just sunning him. And Max and I, while we doing an interview, you know, we see full shot of Drake. We hitting each other elbow like, this motherfucker going in. We like, whew. And he just kept talking trash about Kendrick. I don't know what he was saying, because I got hit in the head a few times. And
do you remember any of the details?
Kendrick's not as good as him. They got the video somewhere, so I wish they just let the shit go because it's out there, but they probably burned them like the Spygate tapes or some shit like. But it's out there. He was saying basically him, Kendrick here, stop comparing me to the guy. So he's hosting the ESPYs and he's flexing. Interview over, 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. Max and I are sitting there like, our lives about to change in 2 hours because, I mean, for hip-hop kids to be in the middle of a beef that they ain't a part of, like, I was like, yo, we got the exclusive. It's going down. 12 o'clock comes. You can see everybody moving different in the studio, whatever. 12:15, producers call us up. That interview you guys did with Drake, was anything bad, wrong? What was that about? And I was like, he went in on his rival. He went in on Kendrick. And I'm from Compton, so I'm like, he went on my guy, right? So I'm laughing. 12:30, 12:45, another meeting. Yeah, Drake's people called and said, we shouldn't air that. Are you guys sure everything was fine? I was like, everything's good. Actually, it's great. He went in on somebody that's going to give us huge boost ratings, people going to watch, etc. 1 o'clock, they was like, we're not airing the interview. And I was like, what? So we talked to him, and we like, can we talk to who you're talking to? And they were like, yeah, but I don't think they're going to be convinced. And then whoever we talked to upstairs above our producers, this was a combo. Drake just called again. He said, if we air that interview, he's not hosting the ESPYs.
Even after that, that's when Kendrick got robbed for the Grammy for Hip Hop Album of the Year by Macklemore. Macklemore came out and said that he felt like Kendrick had the best album and he wanted to apologize and all that good stuff.
Kendrick is a friend of mine. He's somebody that I love his music. And in my opinion, had the best rap album of the year. And knowing how the Grammys usually go, I knew that there would be a great chance that we would win that award and, in essence, rob Kendrick. So that's what happened tonight.
Drake had even more to say. He said he felt like he should be apologizing to him as well, and he thought it was weak that he would go and apologize to Kendrick for that. So at that point, enough was enough, and that's when Kendrick got on BET and did the BET Cypher and called out Drake.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ha ha, joke's on you, high five. I'm bulletproof.
The rest is history. From that point on, they subbed each other over the years. Anybody who's a hip hop fan or followed either of these guys closely knows all about this. I could do a video breaking that down as well, but that would be too long and I probably would get flagged for that anyways. You tell me if I see you after, like, say I did something out of the spirit of competition and I see you and I'm telling you it's just competition. You agree it's all love, it's all good, but then the next chance you get to talk about me, you bad-mouthing me. You giving me backhanded compliments, but you bad-mouthing me. I don't say nothing. Then I don't say nothing. Then the next chance you get to get a microphone in front of your face, you bad-mouthing me again with more backhanded compliments. I still don't say nothing. You get another interview. You bad-mouthing me again. Now, this one I don't know about, but you caught yourself and you called the people up and made sure that wasn't aired because you realized what you did. But then you had something to say again to try to take the spotlight off of me when somebody trying to apologize for me, making it all about you. Are you just going to let somebody keep talking about you and bad-mouthing you every chance they get when you're not saying nothing without you ever saying anything? Who's the real snake here?